Just joined here with Armando from Gold Coast Futsal. Armando, thanks for joining us today. So obviously a busy day for you here in the past couple of days.
Yep.
What's the preparation been like coming into the tournament for you and your role?
So a tournament this size with 130 teams and 30 different clubs coming from all over Australia, New Zealand and the Solomons, it takes an absolute army to get this done. We've got a roster of about 45 referees that are officiating throughout the tournament. We've got the staff in the office doing all the admin work. We've got about a dozen people just in the office entering results, MVV points, goal scorers, the actual scores themselves. Plus, beforehand, myself, Andrew, and the other guys contacting all the international teams that come through. We have to be in constant communication with them to make sure that their visas are over, all good, and making sure they basically land and turn up for the tournament.
So on that, obviously, you've been involved for a few years now with Gold Coast Futsal and seen the tournament grow exponentially. What do you think it will be the key going forward now for the tournament, and where have you seen it grow from the start in the beginning days of the Craig Foster Cup?
We started back in 2010. So the last 7-8 years, this is the 8th year now that the Craig Foster's been running. We started with 3 clubs and 4 teams from each club, so 12 teams to what you see today here. As I said earlier, about 130 teams. We've got more and more international teams now as well, more and more from New Zealand and the Solomons. They've also got, basically at the moment, we're actually seeing a trend where our split is about a 60-40 split. It's about 60% Australian teams from Australia and about 40% coming from overseas. So it's not just Australian, the competition's growing internationally. This year what we've added is live streaming. So we've got our show court. So it's thousands of people have been watching it, which is fabulous, from all over the world. We're getting views from Europe, the Americas, Asia. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's a great introduction this year, as well as every game has been recorded live and sold as packages to the families to take home, which is a great introduction. We also introduced more and more merchandising, so obviously helping out our sponsors and as well as local businesses on the Gold Coast here. This year as well, we've gone, every year we've gone bigger and bigger. We started off in a one-court stadium 8 years ago, all the way out to now an absolute sporting precinct with 11 courts here on the Gold Coast, which is here on the newly built Commonwealth Games facility. Another great introduction, the boys here that are doing all the interviews, interviewing the coaches, the players, the managers. So just basically just giving a bit more of a show, and I think everyone's appreciating it. The crowds are getting bigger and bigger every day. So it's been great this year.
On that, as you said, obviously a lot of kids here playing futsal from the ages of 8 all the way to open men's. What's the best thing about seeing that, every player walking in every morning and just playing all day in the futsal?
Just the sheer joy, especially like you see the little under-8s, they treat it like the World Cup. It's absolutely brilliant. It's just watching them play. The parents is so enthusiastic. Sometimes you can barely hear me. I can barely hear with the amount of noise that's happening here. And just watching them progress. Over the years, we've had guys that are 18, 19 now that were 11 when they started, and just watching them grow and playing each and every year. It's been awesome.
So lastly on that, the Craig Foster Cup, obviously it's grown so much in the past 7-8 years. What are you expecting for the next 3 years specifically? Any targets that you guys have as the Gold Coast Futsal Association hosting this event? Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, we want to make it almost a week-long tournament. At the moment, it's 4 days. It goes over 4 days, and we're packed from, we're doing a 12-hour day from 8 in the morning to 8:30 at night already over 4 days. So over the next few years, we're looking at extending it to a week-long tournament. Obviously, we're targeting more teams from Europe, Asia, and also South America coming through. The Craig Foster actually being a qualifying tournament for the World Futsal Championships in Orlando, Florida, which is played every August at the ESPN Center there in Disney. So the teams from here, the winners from here, and the runners-up get to qualify to go play in that tournament there. Perfect. All right, thank you, Armando, for catching up with us, and best of luck for the rest of the tournament.
Easy.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.